much. How's your weekend?
My weekend was great, teacher. Uh, we stayed here in the house, but no, I'm kidding. In the weekend I went to a festival, and then I arrived here um, on Sunday at 4 or 5 p.m. Yeah, I went to a festival in Morelos.
Oh, Morelos. That's Morelos. It's south of Mexico City, right?
Yeah, more or less. Uh, the travel last around well, the bus depart from here at 5:30, and we arrived there at 5:30 but p.m. So imagine the distance, and was so. Well, it was a good trip, but I was so tired, to be honest.
I imagine. Yes. What did it? How long did the bus take? I guess 5 or 6 hours to get there. If not more.
Well, no more because uh, the bus depart from here at 5:30 a.m. and we arrived there at the place at 5:30 but p.m. So
12 hours to get
12
there.
hours. Yeah.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, I didn't thought that uh, it will be a a long trip. I thought that probably 5 or 6 hours, but now it was so. It was a long trip.
Why did it take so long? Were you making numerous stops or what?
Well, the bus that did stops in Celaya and in Querétaro after Irapuato. Uh, but the issue was that the place where the festival was in a place that you only can go in a, how can I say it? It was just like one highway, you know.
I see.
So, and there were a lot of traffic jam accidents. They were fixing the highway, so probably in a distance of probably in between 5 to 7 kilometers, we last like 2 hours trying to pass just that highway. But what's great was a fantastic show. Obviously, we arrived there. I told you more or less like 5:30, and it ended at 4:30 a.m. So it was all the night until the morning. Yeah, I'm still tired, to be honest.
I imagine. So it ended on Monday morning or Saturday morning? Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, yeah.
And then you came back to Irapuato.
Yeah, we arrived here in Irapuato at like almost 2 p.m.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a long trip.
Well, you had a lot of fun, I imagine. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was like my birthday gift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from me to me.
From you to yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice that you treat yourself nicely. What was the part that you enjoyed the most from the show or from the festival?
Mm, um, well, the place, it is like a little uh, space of a lot of gardens, and there are a lot of figures made by the gardens too. And and in general, like the energy, of those festivals, like people is dancing, is uh, yeah, they're just enjoying. It is it is great. I think that is like this energy is like contagious in a way.
I
So
see.
you can feel it too, and yeah, it was great.
Ah, fantastic. Very nice. Well, I had a fantastic weekend too with this company that I'm working for. They are importing drones and GPS systems.
Okay.
And it is really, really fascinating to see how young kids, a bit older than you, of course, because they already finished their school, maybe 10 years, maybe they're in the range of 10 years older than you. They're in their 30s, mid 30s, early 30s, mid 30s. But they are also very smart people. But one of the troubles I think they're having is with the imports. And I was planning to mention this to you because they use harmonized tariff codes, harmonized codes, the harmonized system for imports and exports. They give codes to the products, but sometimes the products, which are GPS systems and drones, are not classified strictly, very clearly, and so they are facing problems. And also, the lady who is the manager of the company
Mm-hmm.
has a little trouble with the language because she's not very fluent yet. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they hire me to give them these lessons. But
Mm.
they are very good people, very enthusiastic, and they want to come ahead. So they really are making an effort to improve their English and to cope with the technical aspects of the drones because they are for agricultural purposes, to level off the land and be able to save water from the irrigation, and also to do a precision planting, which is have a 95 to 100 precision of the seeds. When they put the seeds, if it is not perfectly smooth, the surface, you can lose a lot of plants, and that
Mm.
reduces your efficiency when you harvest. Well, that's basically the background of the situation. So what I was thinking was, as I told you, to ask the lady if I can invite you one day, both for the class, maybe it's for you to share 5-10 minutes. It's not far from your home. It's actually 5 minutes away. It's in the
Mm-hmm.
flag, in the roundabout that is in the where the flag used to be or is. And the second thing that I'd like to, that I think that could be beneficial for them and interesting for you, is if you one day that you are not very busy, that you say, well, I can spend maybe 1 hour and a half with them, see what she does. She imports products from China, from Israel, from Italy, from the US, but often she has troubles with the import procedure because of these complex type of components that the drones and other appliances have.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to check where they belong. What is the harmonized tariff code? What is the import procedure? And so it's extremely interesting, Mickey.
Yeah.
Extremely interesting, and it's more or less, actually, I think more than less related to what you studied, which is international trade. So it may be interesting for you to know how the process is, and for them to know that there is a person that has an extraordinary English level, that knowledge for imports and exports, and maybe one day this may become interesting for you to just to look at it.
Yes, sure. I would love it. Will be great. Just let me know uh, what day could be, and yeah, of course, sure. No problem.
Okay, thank you, Mick. Then I'm going to tell the lady, who's a very, very nice lady. Her husband is a great guy too. I'm going to
Hmm.
tell her that there is you, right? There is you. Hey, there is Mickey who can come and take a look at what you're doing,
Yeah,
maybe
will be
share
amazing.
some interest and see what can happen from there.
Yes, sure, of course. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, thank you, Mickey. Well, let's further about that. Let's see uh, if you can read the following text,
Hmm.
and then from there we make some questions. So here it is. Chrome. Where is the window? Let's see. I don't see the window. Here's supposed to be share window. Well, complete window. I'll show this. So here is this. Mickey, can you read it, please?
Yes, sure. The harmonized system, HS, is a standardized system of names and numbers used to classify traded products. Each product is assigned a unique code known as the Harmonized System Code or Harmonized Tariff Code. This code is used by customs authorities around the world to identify and classify products for the assessment of duties and taxes. The HS code typically consists of 6 to 10 digits, with, with each digit representing a specific aspect of the product, such as categories, its category, subcategory, and material composition.
Okay, well, this is the theory. And now let's take a look at some questions generated by our friend internet. And then let's see what you think of these questions. Let me put them here in the Word document. And these are questions related to the same topic, obviously. And so I'm going to increase, I'm going to share the screen window, pay, document, Word here. All right, here we'll go. All right. Well, this is the first question. You can please read it.
Yes. Uh, what does HS stands for in the context of international trade? A. Harmonized standards. B. Harmonized system. C. HEC standards. D. Harmonic solutions. Harmonized system.
Yes. Why do you think they added or attached the noun harmonized or the qualifier harmonized? The field
Mm,
involves many countries. Why do you think they put harmonized?
harmonized. Uh, because probably it must be like coordinated.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a totally very, very good answer. Yeah, it's coordinated. There is harmony among the various countries that trade products from China to Mexico, Mexico to Spain, etc. Harmonized. I'm guessing that's the right answer. Let's do the next one, Mickey, please.
How many digits does a typical HS code consist of? Um, A4, B8, C12, D6. 6?
Yeah, six. It says 6 to 10 digits. I believe it's six. Yeah, six. Very good, Mickey. Now let's do the next one, please.
Yes. Um, what is the primary purpose of the E of the HS code? A. To regulate global currency exchange rates. B. To classify trade products for custom purposes. C. To determine international shipping routes. D. To standardize products warranties. Uh, is to classify trade products for custom purposes.
Exactly, exactly. Very good. Now, this is an interesting question because it's not very well known, which is the organization in charge of this aspect. And let's do the next one then, please.
Mhm. Um, which organization is responsible for maintaining and updating the HS code? A. World Trade Organization (WTO). B. International Monetary Fund (IMF). C. International Chamber of Commerce (ICC). D. World Customs Organization (WCO). Mm, well, I need to discard the International Monetary Fund.
Yeah,
Um, and probably, I think, I'm not sure, but World Customs Organization.
yeah, that is the one. Absolutely. Very good, Mickey. Thank you. Now, let's see how many countries use this code. Let's do the next one, please.
Yeah. How many countries currently use a harmonized system for customs classification? A 50, B over 200, C 15, D 100. Uh, to be honest, I don't know, probably over 200.
That is correct, which is a good number of countries, right? Basically,
Yeah.
most countries of the world,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. How many countries do we have in the world, approximately? Do we know?
Mm, 208. I don't remember exactly how many countries.
But it's in the ratio of the two, 300, no more than 300, right?
Yeah, let me check.
Okay, thank you,
Uh,
Mickey.
well, it appears that in total are 195 countries, but you know that there are like countries that are like states, no stuff. Yeah.
Hola, mi estimado, ¿cómo estás?
Estimadísimo, bien. ¿Y tú qué tal?
Gusto saludarte.
Igualmente, mira, ahí está tu gemelo, pero veintitantos años menos antes que tú,
Cuarenta y tantos.
cuarenta y
Oye,
tantos.
te mando un mensajito la semana que entra para echarnos las beers en la tarde, noche.
Excelente, mi buen. Claro que sí. ¿Cómo sigues de tu
No,
cirugía?
ya casi al 70.
Excelente.
Por eso te digo. Yo te mando un
Bueno, cuídate
mensajito.
mucho.
¿Te parece?
¿Perdón?
Que yo te mando un mensajito la semana que entra y nos ponemos de acuerdo.
Excelente, mi estimadísimo.
Dale un abrazo, cuídate.
Igualmente, cuídate, gusto verte, que estés bien. Bye.
Igualmente, igual.
That's your dad right there.
Yeah.
How's he doing? Is he getting better day by day?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, at the beginning, he was uh, not feeling very well, but now he's feeling better, teacher. Thank you.
That's nice. Yeah, it's troublesome and uncomfortable
I imagine.
surgery. My mother has that too, and oh man,
I
it's not.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, they are strong people. They recover fast.
Yeah. Of course. Yes,
Okay,
teacher. I found here that in the world today there are 195 countries.
195 countries. Yeah, but
Yeah.
as you said, there are some states that are divided or have other territories. So it's going to be in the range of 200.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. Well, let's do the next one then, please. Mickey, what is the
What is the
purpose?
purpose of HS codes international trade? To create barriers to trade, to simplify custom procedures, to confuse importers and exporters, to increase tariffs on imported goods.
Imported, I'm sorry, it should
Goods.
say goods.
Hmm. Well, to simplify customs procedures.
I guess so. Yes, that's right. Very good, Mickey. Let's do now the next one, which is which aspect?
Mhm. Which aspect of product does the first two digits of the HS code typically represent? A. Material composition. B. Manufacturing country. C. Category and chapter. D. Expire date. Um, Probably I don't know, the material composition. I don't know.
I think for number seven is category and chapter, Mickey.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I just saw the answer. Category and chapter. So this is the right answer. The first two digits represent the category and the chapter. And we're going to see some examples, of course. All right. Let's do the next one, please. How often?
How often is the HS code updated and revised?
Revised.
Revised, updated and revised. A. Every 10 years. B. Annually. C. Every 5 years. D. Biannually. Uh, I don't know. Every 5 years.
Every 5 years, yes. Every 5 years, which is about okay. And then we have a couple more, please.
What is the purpose of the HS codes? Detailed description of the products. A. To facilitate international espionage. B. To ensure unfair trade practices. C. To confuse customs officials. D. To prevent trade altogether. Um, to ensure fair trade practices.
Exactly, yeah. All right, let's take a look at the last one, Mickey, please.
Mhm. Um, which of the following is not true about HS codes? They are used for statistical purposes. They are the same worldwide. They are only used by exporters. They are used to determine import, export duties, and taxes. Mm, they are only used by exporters.
Exactly. What would the right answer be, Mickey?
Mm, well, I think that the HS codes helps to the exporters and the importers to check and classify the different products. Part of
Absolutely.
that, uh, determining the possible duties and taxes.
Exactly, exactly. So this is not the letter C, as you correctly pointed out, is not true. They are used by exporters and importers,
Mhm.
basically, right? Now, when you import products from China, let's look up at examples of products with their tariff code. Can we please?
Um, I found here an example of an HS code.
Great. Yes.
Do you want that I share the screen?
Yes, can you please?
Mhm. Mm,
Let's see. Oh, here. Oh, awesome. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. I'm gonna take a picture of this really quick.
yeah,
Great. Awesome. Can you read it and explain it maybe?
yes. Well, here is an example of an HS code. I think that first of all, the HS code specify us the type of product that is. In this case, an apple. So this is the code. Uh, 08081000, and the second number, it appears the type of product that is. In this case, it's a vegetable product. Um, in the chapter 08, well, it appears that it's an edible fruit and nuts, peel of citrus, or melons. Mm, Heading 08, it appears that there are apples, pears, and quince is fresh. I think that are for like fresh products probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And the subheading 10, well, obviously specified there are apples, and I think that depending if it's the if it's an international or national country, the second the second part of the code it specified the uh, where is the from where is the product.
Yeah.
Can you wait me just 1 minute, teacher? I think
Absolutely, absolutely. Take your
a little
time.
bit of noise here. Just 1 minute.
Take your time.
Thank you, teacher. I'm back, teacher. Sorry.
Excellent. No, no, no problem. So you were showing the Apple and its tariff code.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like quite simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks simple. I don't know. I think that depending of the product will be uh, not more difficult, but probably you need to analyze it more, right? Because as you mentioned, if it's a drone and it has different components from different countries too, I think that that will be the um, well, not a difficult procedure, but probably a little bit longer, the longest procedure.
Could be, and the reason is that not all of the components of the of these products are specifically or clearly identified, and the issue is that precisely, uh, mm, well, they are not easily identifiable. You cannot identify them clearly or straightforward. So
Hmm.
you need to confirm and check with the manufacturer where it belongs. And
Yeah.
sometimes they don't have that very clear either. So let's take a
Mm.
look at some examples.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the first one, please, Mickey.
Mhm. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. The tariff code is 8802.11, and the typical use is aerial photography, surveillance, and surveying.
Yeah, what do you think the problem can be with this? That's aside the the issue. They are in operation in the country in Mexico, and then you set them to flight, and they will fly close to an airport, they will fly close to a hospital, they will communicate probably using the police channel or the military channel or the forbidden bandwidth. So, which are the typical problems that can arise from operating these equipments, and which are the permits or licenses that you think that are going to be required, Mickey?
Mhm. Uh, well, for example, there's a comparison of this type of vehicles, but I had a drone, and in this case, in the same app of the drone, it shows you that there are like forbidden zones, like near from airports, near from hospitals, near from schools or residents. And I think that is for the same reason because there are people who use like espionage. I think so.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and a part of that, for example, if you want to use a drone without a permission or license, the drone must weigh less than 240 45 grams.
245 grams.
Grams, yeah. If you want to use it without a permit or without a license, and I think that if it exceeds that amount of weight, you need to have different licenses as part of that, depending of the type of drone or vehicle that you have.
Wow, impressive. And you still have it?
Hmm. Well, I lent my drone to a friend because he wanna record something and he had an accident with it. So no, I know now I don't have it.
He had an accident. He crashed your drone?
Not completely crash, but the drone receives a good how say like kick, a good mm,
A
goal.
wreck?
Do you remember?
A wreck?
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
drone wreck?
a wreck
Wow. How did that happen? Did it crash against a wall, against a mountain, against a bench or something?
against three.
Against a tree?
He
Oh,
was recording at La Sierra Santa Rosa, and then he didn't know how to use it. And I told him that if you don't know how to use it, well, better don't use it. But he insists, and actually, I wasn't there because if I was there, obviously, I was using it because. But I had another commitment that day, so he used it in the drunk wreck against uh,
oh.
against a tree.
I'm sorry to hear this. Well,
Yeah,
and how about the repair? Is it easy to repair or not easy?
yeah, of course. Actually, the drone still working, but obviously I had my drone almost in perfect conditions. And then when I saw it, it was like, oh my god, you need to pay me, bro, because um, I gave him all the components, all the chargers, obviously the control, everything, and everything was in perfect conditions. So we agreed that he's gonna pay me the drone, and he's paid me per month like 3,000 pesos.
For months. So what is the standard cost of that drone?
Of that drone was of in that condition between 12,000 to 13,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little bit expensive, but well, with that money I can buy another, so there's no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is a very, very interesting use of a drone. So you have forbidden zones and you have a maximum weight allowed. Otherwise, you will need a permit.
Hmm.
How
Yeah.
about the how about the bandwidth, Mickey? What is the bandwidth that is permissible or allowed? Bandwidth that can be used. And the transmission, apparently, the communications bandwidth is in the range of gigahertz or megahertz. I think it's gigahertz, right?
Yeah.
And how is the bandwidth spectrum? Do you have an idea? I saw that a million years ago and I almost forgot. But we can Google it now, I guess. The bandwidth spectrum, how is it? Which bandwidth is for the military use? Which one is for the police use, for hospitals, emergencies?
Mm, um, well, to be honest, I'm not pretty informed. I'm searching here. It appears that bandwidth is the portion of the spectrum that a given telecommunications system can use. And here says that, for example, a system that operates on frequencies between 150 and 200, I think that are uh, megahertz. Yeah, megahertz
Megahertz, all right.
has a bandwidth of 50 megahertz. And an important distinction in spectrum technology is the difference between narrowband and broadband.
Wow. And you mentioned that drones are used in the range of gigahertz, right?
Yeah, I
That
think so.
okay. Well, look, I just asked the AI to make us a little table that I'm going to share with you, and because this is, I have seen drones actually. I know a person who's got one also.
Hmm.
He has used it a couple of times, and I have seen it work, and it's fascinating. Let's see this table, Mickey, please. What do you see that is or turns out to be characteristic or extraordinary or interesting about this table? What do you see as interesting in this table, Mickey?
Um, well, everything is interesting because it shows the different frequency range and the typical uses that that range can cause. For example, uh, between 12 gigahertz to 18 gigahertz, it is used by satellite communication, broadcasting, remote sensing, and in comparison, a lower frequency range between probably 3 megahertz to 300 megahertz is just for two-way radio communication as emergency services, and public safety. So yeah, it is so interesting.
Yeah, so I imagine that this is the forbidden zone, right? That you cannot interfere because law enforcement, they say law enforcement instead of saying police, right?
Yeah.
Emergency services, I guess, is the 911 frequency.
Hmm.
And then this seems to be military communication, right? 300 megahertz up to 2 gigahertz here.
Yeah, ultra high frequency. Tactical
Right. Yes.
communication, surveillance, intelligence. Yeah, L-band. It appears that that is for military communication too.
Exactly. Yes. Right. Yes. 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 Where would you place the drones? In what category, Mickey?
Mm, I would say that is mm, probably the lowest one.
Um,
Oh no, communication, military control. Mm, Let me search it to be completely sure.
okay.
It appears that drone communication protocols usually use the same frequency bands used for Wi-Fi transmissions, particularly in the 2.400 to 2.483 GHz and 8.5 point sorry 5.7 725 to 5.825 GHz.
So it's going to be in this range of these two bands.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can paint this. Should know way to paint it with gray, I guess. I'm sorry, it wasn't this, it was this and this, right? The
Mm-hmm.
S band and the C band, with the corresponding permits and restrictions, right?
Yeah.
Now, according to these kids, which I'm sure that you're gonna know, probably the maximum weight for not the maximum weight. Some of these drones have a weight that can lift 20 liters of fertilizer, because the main purpose of some of these drones is to fertilize hectares,
Mm-hmm.
liters of fertilizer, and they fly at normally 6 meters above the tip of the plant.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said 6 or 4 meters. I don't remember. I think 4 to 6 meters above the plant, and they travel at a speed of close to 6 meters per second. What do you think of this data? When you want to fertilize an hectare, and the time capacity they have is in the range of more or less 15 minutes, and they have a backup system of four batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 4 batteries in use and 4 batteries for backup. 4 batteries. What do you think of all this? You're familiar with this, Mickey. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with drones, but not in this field. I just one time I saw one, and it was huge in comparison that my drone,
Okay.
and the noise that those drones makes, it's it's unbelievable. And yeah, it surprised me the speed, 6 meters per second is so fast. And yeah, I know that those drones are so expensive, and actually, one friend that his dad is selling like fertilizers and all stuff. He had this type of drones, and I think that he rent those drones too. And the hour, yeah, I think that he rented for, I don't know if per actors or per hours, but it was so expensive just just renting. So imagine buying a drone of this type or this categories. It's amazing, and it's great how the technology has improved until this level.
Yeah, up to this level is amazing. Yeah, and it's really motivating to see young kids that are making use of this sophisticated technology, for the benefit of basically agriculture, because the application, the end user of these are growers
Hmm.
that grow crops, various kinds, grains, but also legumes, fruits, vegetables, and mostly that have extensions above 10 hectares for it to become convenient, more or less profitable. When the grower has a surface of 10, 15, 20 hectares or more, using these equipments is of great help, and it saves a lot of time, effort. It becomes precise and provides lots of benefits.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very surprised, astonished the degree of technical proficiency these people have and acquire and grow,
Hmm.
and they just need to work on their language, on their English, which is becoming better every time, little by little. But the part that is really interesting is also the not only the technical part, but the commercial part. Because as I was saying, they import these equipments from China, Israel, Spain, Italy, the U.S. mostly. What do you think of these countries, Mickey, in terms of their technical capabilities, commercial issues? How would you classify these countries that I just mentioned in terms of commerce or trade?
Classify them.
Yes, what do
Um,
you say about them in terms of friendliness to trade with, uh, easiness to negotiate with, compatibility with their culture? I mean, it's not the same to converse with a guy from Chile that to converse with a guy from Botswana or I don't know, Kenya or some strange country, even Denmark. I don't know. What do you think of these countries?
mm, well, of course, those countries have the capacity to develop this type of equipments. We're talking about China, United States, Israel. I think that are countries that are putting a big effort in technology in general. So, in terms of commerce, I would say that uh, all those countries, I think that more China and United States have the capability to cover probably the demand of those equipments to and export those equipments to the different parts of the world, obviously. And and yeah, obviously, I'm not pretty informed about this topic, but I know that China and United States are two of the countries that more exports does and more in terms of technology. So I would say that um, in a way they are like competing to have a better price or better quality in their equipments. So that's a good part um, of competition. I think so. That probably you can acquire those products in a better price, or they're always improving in terms of technology and of offering different products to different and new products to the market.
Okay. Yeah, well, it totally makes sense, and I thank you for your comment. I'm gonna show you a little table,
Hmm.
and I would like to ask you what you think of it. You can make a comment and maybe relate it to your own experience as a trader. You buy and sell. I don't know to how many of these countries, but I'm sure some of them at least. So, if you would agree more or less, or how would you comment on this table, Mickey? Please, can you?
Yeah. I'm gonna read it first.
Okay, yes.
Country level culture affinity with Mexico. Israel, high.
I'm sorry. I didn't show technology level. I'm sorry, I didn't show it.
Okay, yeah. Uh, Technology level of Israel is high. The culture, diverse and innovative with a strong emphasis on technology and entrepreneurship. Affinity with Mexico, strong economy and diplomatic ties. Ties?
Ties? Ties.
Yeah, collaboration in technology, agriculture, and defense. The second one, Italy. the technology level is moderate to high. The culture is rich cultural heritage, known for art, cuisine, and fashion. Affinity with Mexico, historical and cultural connections, significant Italian diaspora in Mexico, trade ties. Spain, technology level moderate to high, culture, vibrant and diverse, known for its rich history, art, and architecture. Affinity with Mexico, shared language and colonial heritage, cultural exchange, and tourism. China, technology level is high. It is rapidly advancing in technology with a focus on innovation and manufacturing. Affinity with Mexico, growing economic ties, trade partnership, investment in infrastructure projects. Country United States, technology level high. It is leading in technology and innovation with a diverse cultural landscape. Affinity with Mexico is economic ties, large Mexican American population, and cultural exchange.
Okay, thank you very much, Mickey. What is your comment about this table? What could you say that sounds interesting for you? What do you see as opportunities?
Um, well, what it was interesting for me was that Italy and Spain, their technology level is between moderate to high. I didn't know that. Probably I had like another idea of those European countries.
What was your original idea about them, Mickey?
Well, obviously, it wasn't like I was thinking that they don't have like technology level, but I didn't know that they are focusing on this type of equipment too. It is great because in a way, I think that it is important to have not just like one country selling those products. I think that if more countries are joining to this evolution, if I can say it, it is better for the market in general. Well, I knew from of Israel for the video that you one day show us about their irrigation system.
Yeah.
So since then, I know that they are focusing in technology and obviously we know that the amount of money and that they have is huge too. And I think that now in the actuality the like the biggest competition is between China and the United States. And in this case, I think that China is winning because we can see it not just in this type of equipment, in different equipments in general. We can see just analyzing the products that we have around us, the different brands, the car brands too that are arriving to our country. I think that it gives us an idea that China is doing a good effort to innovation and manufacturing, and I think that it is good, right? That there exists like different countries offering different products because we have like more variety to choose. I think so.
Yeah, that's very true. How do you think the affinity with Mexico affects in a positive or negative way how we do trade with those countries? Do you think it has an impact or an influence? It allows or it denies or not denies, no, it makes it more difficult to have trade or commerce with a person according to the culture affinity. What do you think about that?
Uh, well, yeah, of course. I think that is, for example, what you are seeing in this company, that the language is in a way like a barrier. So I think that there are obviously certain things that help us as Mexicans with other countries. Probably with Spain could be the language that we speak the same language. Um, and yeah, probably the negotiation way probably is different between obviously if you're negotiating with China, with the United States, or with Israel. So I think that in this case, as importers, we need to know the different um, negotiation styles, and yeah, obviously see what countries give us like more warranties in comparison with others, and define which product could be better we buy in this country or in other. I think so.
Yeah, exactly. Other countries that are emerging economies and emerging technologies like India, Brazil, not very famous and well known as Pakistan. What's your opinion about them, Mickey?
Well, I think that it's important, and I think that it's something that I need to do. That is change a little bit like or stereotypes about one country or other because I didn't know about the improvement in technology in India until I searched about it, and now I realize that they have a lot of technology companies and they are really investing in technology. And, and yeah, and I think that it's great that other countries now have the opportunity to increase their technology level in a way be more competitive in a market that is that is so competitive. So it's great, I think so. And and yeah, at the end, the market, I think that it can receive a benefit of have more options, more countries to choose, and, and yeah, well, at the end, it's free market, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Suppose.
Yeah, there is a free market. Let me update the table that we were checking to
Yeah.
include a couple more countries and see what you think of it, because I believe adding countries that are traditionally known uh, makes us makes it easier in a way to discuss uh, when we compare them. Countries that we traditionally trade with, like Canada, Japan, Germany, even Brazil, and I added them to the table. So, and India as well. So I don't know if it is clear. Yeah, India. Yeah. Can you please read about the new countries that I added, which are, I believe, India. What else? India.
Hmm.
I added Brazil, Germany, and Japan, and I think Canada wasn't there before, right? Can you please read a little bit about them and what's your experience trading with them, or what you know about them as trading partners?
Yeah, Canada, strong economic ties, culture exchange, high technologically advanced, a multicultural society with French and English influences. Japan, economic ties, investment in technology, high technologically advanced, rich cultural traditions, blending modernity and tradition. Germany, economic ties, technology collaboration, pure technology, high technology, rich cultural heritage with emphasis on arts and sciences. Brazil, geopolitical ties, cultural exchange, moderate to high. Diverse cultural landscape influenced by indigenous, African, and European cultures. Um, Israel, growing economic and diplomatic ties, technology collaboration, high technologically advanced, diverse cultural landscape with influences from Jewish, Arab, and other communities. India, economic ties, technology collaboration, moderate to high, rich cultural diversity with a long history of traditions, religions, and languages.
Okay,
Italy,
what? Yes, what do you make of this table, Mickey? What's your conclusion or your idea of this table?
mm, well, my idea is that there are like new countries joining to this, how can I say, it, like to this wave of technology in a way, because I have, well, here we can see countries that belongs to how it's called BRICS,
Yes, yes.
and yeah, I think that it's important to have different countries, and it's great that different countries are joining to this to this wave of technology because it helps to the market in general. Since my point of view, I'm not saying that is um, like the final decision. But since my point of view, I think that it's important that other countries that probably in the past were not too involved in this moment are joining, and yeah, it's great that, for example, Brazil, uh, that is a Latin country, is investing too in technology, and I think that in a way, Mexico could be part of this movement too. Just it's important to really invest in that, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, well, it is amazing that you mentioned this organization BRICS as group of countries and how much they help to balance the world environment. And I believe that is beneficial, as you correctly pointed out. Actually, I just requested to I'm sorry, I just requested to produce a table that includes those organizations and other ones which are similar. Excuse me. Let me share this with you, Mickey, and discuss it for a moment.
Yes, sure.
I believe these BRICS countries are here. Well, first of all, I'd like you to focus more on the member countries of the organization, which are, for instance, the BRICS, these countries here, the G7, ASEAN, Mercosur, NAFTA, and obviously the European Union. How do you think of this? What do you think of these groups, and what is our connection with them? How much do we trade with them as a group?
Mm, well, I think that Mexico. Mm, I think that it's time to Mexico to really have like connection with the different organizations. I think that in the past, or well, in part of the actuality, we have just focusing in United States. I think that little by little we are expanding our commercial connection with other organizations, and I think that is good too. I know that there are influence different aspects like political aspects and all stuff, but I think that it is important to really have different connections with different countries because we can get benefit from them and they can get benefit from us too. So yeah, it's something good.
Okay. Um, what do you think of the main trading partners with Mexico, other than the US and are the top three partners, Mexico and China? What other countries do you think we trade with? And you think is the not trade balance, trade amount with those countries approximately?
Could you repeat it? Sure, I don't know if it was my internet, but it was.
Okay. What do you think is the trade, not trade balance, but trade amount of Mexico with other countries? Uh, when you say trade balance, more or less implies who's getting more money from the commerce. But in this case, it's not trade balance, it's trade amounts of every country, or not every country, of many countries with Mexico in approximate value.
Mm, well, I think that obviously one of the countries that Mexico have more imports and exports are United States mainly. Canada too, I think so. For the what's the name of this trade?
NAFTA.
NAFTA. Yeah. But I know that Mexico have a lot of trades with other countries. Um, I think that with so many countries of Latin America too, with some countries of Europe, obviously I imagine what that with China too. So Um, I don't know. To be honest, I don't feel completely um, sure about this topic because I know that I don't know so many things to share like my opinion. But yeah, I think that it's important to Mexico to expand the countries with which we do businesses. So yeah, it's good that other countries are emerging um, and are investing in technology in general.
Yes, exactly. Um, I asked our friend to provide a table with the amount of trades that they have with Mexico. It wouldn't provide it because it says it's not precise, but they showed us the main trading partners.
Hmm.
And of course, you're familiar with most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah, of course. The United States is the first one. China, I think that China is everywhere, so
Yes.
it's not surprising. Japan was surprising, to be honest, but it's great. Probably about the technology companies, the car companies. That's why Japan is there.
Yeah.
Germany probably will be the same about technology equipment and probably related to the car industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
India, well, technology equipment, and to be honest, I know that some components of the cell phones are created and developed in India too, not just in China. United Kingdom, to be honest, I'm not pretty informed. What will be the products that United Kingdom exports to Mexico or vice versa?
Uh, I don't know very well, but I know that at one time they were managing the mining industry in Mexico,
Mm,
and
yeah.
they have financial institutions that to this day have a strong impact and influence, and obviously access to crucial information. So, the information services banks, for example,
Hmm.
one of the banks is of British origin. I think the HSBC.
Hmm.
I think that one, which used to be part of the United Kingdom, and with that, obviously, if they have access to banks and the banking information, they have access basically to most of the important information of the country. So they
Yeah.
know where the money is and the technology and the needs and this and that. So I think and the mining industry, they used to own the mines in Mexico after Porfirio Diaz. And also, they had a big stake in the petrol industry in Mexico. One of the largest oil industries, the British Petroleum, which of
Mm.
course also caused a tremendous and dramatic spill in the Gulf of Mexico. But British Petroleum, so they are in at least two of the greatest industries in Mexico, which are the mining industry and the petrol industry.
I didn't know that. But yeah, now that you mentioned that they owned a good part of the mines in Mexico, I remember one time that I visited a mine. I don't remember exactly the name. I think that the name of the city, it was a little city, it's a little town. It was El Oro or Pueblo El Oro, and I think that it was influenced like this with this British. Yeah, it has like British influence, so now it
Heritage,
makes
yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
France, I don't know. I imagine that something like United Kingdom, probably they had technology invested in mining too, or in what tissue? I don't know.
They are involved in the water bottling.
Mm, I don't know.
One of the companies, I think Bonafont is French, is not?
Bonafont? I
Or
don't
is
know.
it
Let
not?
me let me see.
I think Bonafont is French.
Bonafont was the first Mexican brand of mineral water. Uh, I think that it's Mexican, but I don't know.
Is it? Water bottling companies, water bottling French companies. Let me check. Bottling French companies. Well, they have headquarters Danone, of course, Vitel, Perrier, Valois, Contrex, Cristalline, Wattwiller, Senamant, Evian, Quezac. Okay, well, but I know they invest Danone are the parents of Evian and Volvic, but Danone is clearly using lots of water in Mexico.
Yeah, of course. Hmm.
Um, they are in the aerospace industries in Mexico. They are in, for example, in Querétaro, they have a company that manufactures um, landing gears, for instance. The landing gears in this factory called Safran. So it is
Mm-hmm.
truly, yeah, they have lots of stakes of economic and technological here in Mexico investments. So yeah, the French, I mean, they share lots of traditions with us. We are Latin countries. One of our former president's sons married a Miss Universe. Um, the son of Miguel Alemán married this French Miss Universe. What was her name? That's
Mm-hmm.
Miss Universe married to a Mexican president.
Christina McManny?
Uh, I think Christina McManny, Miguel Alemán. Miguel. I think the son of Miguel Alemán.
Mm.
Nelly Ruiz Massieu. Ah, Ruiz Massieu. Those were the brother. The wow, Ruiz Massieu was married. Nelly Ruiz Massieu was married to Miguel Alemán, but I know that the Ruiz Massieu were also married to the Salinas de Gortari family.
It's not surprising.
Wow, I just learned this through the internet. Amazing. So different presidents married a family of French origin, of course.
Yeah, of
I'm,
course.
I'm sure that the son of Miguel Alemán Valdez, I think Miguel Alemán Velasco, who is the owner of Interjet,
Mm-hmm.
married a Miss Universe.
Mm.
Well, that's for the gossip.
Yeah.
Okay, Mickey. Well, very good conversation, interesting, a bit technical on commerce, but well, that's
Thank you,
interesting
teacher. Yeah, it
always.
was so interesting.
So see you what I think Thursday, Mickey, because Friday I think this time we'll have to go to Aguascalientes early. So what about if we meet Thursday? Is that okay with you?
Yes, teacher. On Thursday, it's okay.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day, Mickey. Take care. See you soon.
You too, teacher. Thank you for your time.
Enjoy. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye. See you.